Telling the truth won't break a strong foundation. It'll just reveal the reality of a weak one. That's an important understanding that you have to have going into any situation, whether it be in a relationship or an opportunity. Telling the truth will reveal a weak foundation. Because if the situation is already fragile to begin with, then speaking something like your honesty or your truth will break it. And that can be seen as a bad thing, or that can be seen as something that's necessary, right? Because you don't want anything around that can't handle the weight of a truth. This is an important channel message because for some of you guys, you're in relationships with people, or you're at the beginning stages of a relationship, and you think that in order to save it or keep it afloat, you need to lie or hide certain things, or you know what I mean? And here's the thing, there's a difference between reserving certain truths and exposing it little by little, because you don't want to overshare so much just off the rip of meeting somebody. But there shouldn't be a reason why you hide certain things either. And in fact, if that is something that you feel called to do while you are around this person, that says a lot more about them and you. Because being around the right types of people, you wouldn't even feel the need to do that. Why do you feel the need to lie? And mind you, this may just be a character development situation where you need to look within and see what's causing you to lie. What is it about yourself that's making you feel like if I expose this, if I say this, then I won't have? Because that's an extension of lack. And that's something that you need to work on. And sometimes God will bring people into your life to hold up a mirror and show you where the cracks in your foundation lie. But again, exposing the truth on a strong foundation, it will not break. But if speaking your truth shatters something, that means it was built on something fragile to begin with. Again, this can be romantic, or this can be for opportunity wise. For some of you guys, like, again, if this is romantic, it's almost like you bite your tongue. Like, if I say something, if I do something, I don't want to rock the boat. He might leave, she might leave, they might say this. I feel like I can't. Which is very different for you, right? It's different because for some of you guys, it's exposing the fact that you're in a toxic relationship. But for others of you, it's exposing the reservations that you have within self. Because again, this can expose the fragileness of a relationship. And if it's fragile, it's just going to break. But for some of you, this is going to reveal the strong foundation that you have. You just don't believe in it yet. Meaning you reserve certain truths because within yourself, there are certain things that you don't believe in yet. So for example, let's say you're in your first healthy relationship, right? Like you're in a relationship with someone and it's mutual for the first time. Again, for some of you, this may be the beginning stages of it, so you're still kind of testing the waters of it. But for some of you, you've been in the relationship for some time and it's your first healthy relationship. And let me make something clear. Being in a healthy relationship doesn't always mean that there aren't going to be arguments. What it means is it has the capacity to withstand the test of time. Look at this. It has the capacity to receive you. But if you don't give it an opportunity to be tested in that way, then you're never going to know that you can actually put your foot on this. That's the testimony of seeing if something is solid or not. That's why I say you can't go into a situation thinking that you aren't even going to really know if something is for you or if it's valid if you don't test the spirit of it, the fruit of it. And that doesn't mean going into something being manipulative. That doesn't mean, oh, let me try him. Let me see how jealous I can get him or her. No, that's toxic. It means You have to give this an opportunity to see if it's actually for you by showing up as your authentic self. You have to allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to put your foot down on something. And again, like I mentioned, this could be romantic, or this can be for opportunities. For some of you guys, you're going into an opportunity still so scared and so timid. And it almost makes me want to cry because I'm understanding where it's coming from. It's almost like you've been through so much that you are terrified to put your foot down on something, because it's like every time you did before, the rug was pulled up from beneath you. It was like, well, last time, oh, hold on, my dog might. Confirmation, hold on, y'all. So you may have gone into situations before where you tried to put your foot down on something. You tried to put your foot down in a relationship. You tried to put roots down in a home. For some of you guys, this is a home. And if you remember, I actually had a channeled message in regards to stability. The last previous message was about it, actually. Some of you guys went into apartments. Some of you guys went into jobs thinking that this is where I'm meant to land. But you were doing that in a transition season, meaning you were trying to build a foundation, build something solid with a foundation that was faulty. How is that going to work? You may have been able to put up a few walls, but baby. And that's why I feel like you guys are going through this stage of true gratitude, true acceptance, true forgiveness of both yourself and your past. For some of you guys, you're learning how to forgive your exes because you're now coming into integration with the truth of this. This is a truth that's starting to land deep within your spirit, because you're understanding what it means now you're understanding the difference between putting your foot down on something that's solid versus putting your foot down on something that was never meant to last because the foundation was faulty to begin with. And a lot of the things that expose the difference between the two is the truth. If you speaking up about something shatters your entire relationship, what does that say about the reality of the relationship to begin with? If you speaking your mind shatters this entire relationship, or if you go into an opportunity and you speaking with your opinion on what you think or your creative input, and it shatters the entire operation, now you're fired because you spoke up about how someone treated you. Let me tell you something. That's insane. You mean to tell me exposing the truth, me speaking my mind, made you get this upset to the point where now we're about to break up? Are you crazy? That says a lot about the foundation, baby. And see, in the past season, again, you were moving through things that were not meant to last. But now you're coming into a very stable foundation that, unbeknownst to you, and it's funny because you don't even know, you don't even realize that you're on solid ground now. You've created a solid foundation within, but now there's a solid foundation starting to reflect that, and it's a little bit hard for you to trust because you never had it before. But the thing about that is you got to understand, so within, so without. And I understand, baby. Take your time. Because again, just as much as this is true for something that is not for you, it's just as true as something that is for you. When something is for you, exposing your truth, speaking your mind, it will not be easily shaken. But if speaking your truth shatters something, that exposes the fragileness, the inauthentic, that exposes that it was never for you to begin with. And it's okay to mourn that. It's okay to grieve that, but also give yourself permission to be vulnerable enough to see. That's the true art of a magician. You have to be willing to go into a situation to see if it's valid enough. Test the foundation. God said, test me in this. That'll expose what's real and what's not. trust it.